Did you know that nearly half of all strokes happen within just 3 hours after waking up? It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. And if you're over the age of 65, or if someone you love is, this might be the most important health message you hear this year. We're not talking about rare diseases. We're talking about stroke, the second leading cause of death worldwide, and the number one reason seniors lose their ability to walk, speak, or live independently. And here's what makes it more frightening. The danger often doesn't come from major events. It comes from the little things you do right after waking up. The habits that feel normal, familiar, harmless, but they're quietly putting stress on your heart, your brain, and your blood vessels at the worst possible time. You open your eyes, you check your phone, maybe you jump out of bed, skip breakfast, sip coffee, or head straight for the shower. These things seem innocent, don't they? But science tells a different story. You see, the first 30 minutes after you wake up are when your body is at its most fragile. Your blood pressure is unstable. Your heart is trying to adjust. Your brain is thirsty for oxygen and hydration. If you do the wrong thing during this window, even something as simple as stretching too fast, it can quietly trigger a stroke or a heart attack. So in this video, we're going to walk through the 10 most dangerous morning habits that increase your stroke risk, especially after 65. And the number one habit, it's something almost everyone does before they even get out of bed. If you want to live longer, protect your independence, and avoid becoming another hospital statistic, don't miss this. Let's start. So now you're probably wondering, if mornings are this dangerous, then what should I do differently? What's the safe way to start the day? That's the question we'll be answering, but not just with one quick tip. Because the truth is, staying safe in the morning isn't about avoiding one bad habit. It's about knowing how your heart, brain, and blood vessels respond to the sudden transition from sleep to wakefulness, and then making small, intentional changes that work with your body, not against it. That's exactly what we'll give you by the end of this video. A simple, science-backed, step-by-step routine designed specifically for people over 60. One that helps reduce blood pressure spikes, protects brain circulation, lowers the chance of clots forming, and gives your heart a steady, gentle start every single morning. You don't need expensive medicine. You don't need fancy equipment. Just a few mindful shifts, starting with awareness of these 10 common mistakes. Now here's the catch. Almost nobody talks about this. You won't hear it during your regular checkup. You won't see it in a morning TV segment. But once you understand how these habits quietly raise your risk of stroke or even a silent heart attack, you'll never look at your mornings the same again. Stay with us, because by the time we reach the end, you'll know exactly what to do tomorrow morning to protect your future, starting with the very moment you open your eyes. Habit number 10. Skipping hydration right after waking up. Let's start with something simple, but powerful. After a long night's sleep, your body is naturally in a mild state of dehydration. You haven't had a sip of water in 7, maybe 8 hours. Meanwhile, your organs have been working all night, regenerating cells, repairing tissues, processing waste. And your blood, it gets thicker. That's not just a small detail. Thicker blood means slower circulation and a greater risk of clot formation. For a healthy 30-year-old, that might not be a big deal. But for someone over 60, especially if you already have high blood pressure or stiff arteries, it's a recipe for stroke or even a silent heart attack. This is why hydration right after waking up is not just good advice, it's essential. And yet millions of seniors reach for their pills, coffee, or phone before even thinking about water. But here's the good news. The fix is easy. Start your morning by drinking a full glass of water before anything else. Add a squeeze of lemon or a slice of cucumber if you like. But the most important part is just doing it. Before coffee, before breakfast, before screens. This one simple habit helps thin your blood, reduce pressure on your heart, and set your body up for smoother, safer circulation. All before you even leave your bedroom. One glass of water, one small change, one big difference. Habit number 9. Jumping into exercise too quickly. Morning exercise is a great habit, but only if you do it the right way. Many seniors wake up feeling motivated. They want to move their bodies, keep their hearts strong, and stay independent. That's a beautiful goal. But what happens next could quietly put everything at risk. If you go from lying in bed straight to doing jumping jacks, push-ups, or even fast walking without any warm-up, you're placing sudden, intense pressure on a cardiovascular system that's just waking up. Your heart rate jumps, your blood vessels tighten, blood pressure spikes, and if you're over 60 with arteries that may be less flexible, that's a dangerous combo. Studies show that sudden physical strain in the early morning increases the risk of cardiac events, including heart attacks and strokes, especially in older adults. So how do you stay safe and still stay active? Start slow. Give your body time to transition. Begin with 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement, stretching your arms, rolling your shoulders, walking in place, or doing light yoga. This prepares your heart and blood vessels to handle more intense activity. Think of it like warming up a car engine in winter. You don't slam the gas pedal the moment it turns on. You let it warm. Your body deserves that same care. Don't rush it, protect it, move, but move smart. Habit number 8. Taking a shockingly hot or cold shower. Right after waking up, a warm shower in the morning sounds relaxing. A cold one might feel energizing. But for people over 60, both can be dangerous if done too soon or too extreme. Here's why. When you first wake up, your blood vessels are still adjusting. Your body is moving from a low resting state into activity. That alone causes natural fluctuations in blood pressure and heart rate. Now imagine suddenly stepping into steaming hot water or an icy blast. That shock causes your blood vessels to rapidly expand or contract. And in older adults whose arteries may already be stiff or narrowed, that sudden shift can trigger severe spikes or drops in blood pressure. That's a known risk factor for stroke and even heart attack. In fact, researchers have found that extreme temperature exposure, especially in the early hours, increases cardiovascular stress significantly. Your heart is forced to work harder before it's ready. So what's the safer option? Keep your shower comfortably warm, not scorching, not freezing. Let the water run a few seconds, then ease into it slowly. Give your body time to adapt to the change. It's not just about comfort, it's about protecting your brain, heart, and blood vessels during a critical time. You can still enjoy your morning routine, just without the shock to your system. Warmth, not war. That's how your body wants to start the day. Habit number 7. Starting the day with too much salt. You might think you're starting your day right. With a breakfast sandwich, some bacon, maybe even a bowl of packaged soup or toast with processed cheese. But here's something most people don't realize. Breakfast is when your blood pressure is already at its natural peak. And adding too much salt at that moment, it's like pouring gasoline on a small fire. When you eat salty foods first thing in the morning, your body retains water. Your blood volume increases, and your blood pressure can spike even higher. That's especially risky for seniors who often already deal with high blood pressure or weakened blood vessels. Over time, a salty breakfast becomes a silent threat. It stiffens your arteries, weakens your heart, and raises your chances of stroke, without any symptoms until it's too late. But there's good news. You don't have to give up flavor. You just have to make smarter swaps. Try oatmeal with fresh berries, scrambled eggs without added salt, or plain Greek yogurt with fruit. Avoid packaged meats, salty breads, and canned items whenever possible. Read the labels. Choose low sodium when you can. Your morning meal sets the tone for your entire day and your long-term health. Don't let salt steal your peace. Choose balance. Choose protection. Every bite is either helping or hurting your heart. Make it count. Habit number 6. Ignoring early morning warning signs. Sometimes the body whispers before it screams. You wake up and feel a little numbness in your hand. Maybe your foot tingles. You sit on the edge of the bed and feel slightly dizzy, or your speech slurs just for a second. But then everything seems fine again. Most people brush it off. I must have slept funny. I'm just not fully awake yet. But here's the truth. Those little things could be early signs of something serious. They could be transient ischemic attacks, or TIAs. Often called mini-strokes, These are brief interruptions in blood flow to the brain. And while they don't always cause permanent damage, they're powerful warnings. Studies show that 1 in 3 people who experience a TIA will have a full-blown stroke, many within just days or weeks. That's why ignoring these symptoms, especially in the morning when stroke risk is already highest, can be a deadly mistake. So what should you do? Listen to your body. Pay attention to new sensations, numbness, weakness, dizziness, blurred vision, or trouble speaking, even if they pass quickly. Write them down. Tell your doctor. Don't wait for a second chance. Your body is talking. Are you listening? Because the next time it speaks, it may not whisper. Habit number 5, skipping breakfast or eating too late. You might not feel hungry when you wake up. That's normal. But skipping breakfast, especially after 60, is far more dangerous than most people think. Here's why. When you sleep, your body goes 8 to 10 hours without food. That's already a long fast. If you continue to skip breakfast, your blood sugar stays low and your body starts to panic. It releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to compensate. These hormones raise your blood pressure, tighten your arteries, and put extra strain on your heart at the exact time of day when your body is most vulnerable. But that's not all. Skipping breakfast can make your blood thicker, increasing the risk of clot formation. Over time, it also throws off your metabolism and leads to insulin resistance, both of which increase your risk of stroke, heart attack, and even memory decline. Research from Harvard found that people who skip breakfast have a 27% higher risk of heart disease and are more likely to suffer from stroke. The fix. You don't need a big meal, just something small and steady. A slice of whole grain toast, a banana, a handful of soaked nuts, or a hard-boiled egg. Within an hour of waking up, you're not just feeding your stomach, you're protecting your brain, you're calming your heart. Don't let silence be mistaken for safety. Eat something every morning. Habit number 4, checking your phone or TV. Immediately after waking you, open your eyes. Before your feet even hit the floor, your hand reaches for the phone. A quick scroll, a news headline, a message, maybe something upsetting, maybe something stressful. And just like that, your brain goes from peaceful to panic in under 60 seconds. What many seniors don't realize is that this simple habit has a hidden effect on your cardiovascular system. When your brain is hit with a sudden surge of information, especially negative or stimulating content, your body responds with a spike of stress hormones like cortisol. This tightens your blood vessels, speeds up your heartbeat, raises your blood pressure, thickens your blood slightly. For someone in their 30s, this may just feel like a jolt. But for people over 60, especially those with high blood pressure, heart conditions, or a history of stroke, it's a risky game. Morning is when your heart and brain are trying to stabilize, and emotional overload too early can quietly tip the balance in the wrong direction. So what's the better way? Give your brain a moment of peace. Before the screens, try stretching. Sit in natural light, drink water, breathe deeply. Ease into the day without digital stress. The world can wait 5 minutes. But your heart, it needs a calm start. Protect your peace before you check your feed. Habit number 3, drinking coffee or tea before water. For millions of people, coffee is the first thing they reach for every morning. It's comforting, it's familiar, and it feels like the perfect way to start the day. But if you're over 60, drinking coffee or tea before hydrating with water could quietly put your heart and brain at risk. Here's why. After a full night's sleep, your body is dehydrated. Your blood becomes slightly thicker. Your brain needs fluids, and your heart needs support. Caffeine, however, does the opposite. It's a diuretic. It pulls more water out of your system. On top of that, it stimulates your nervous system, which can spike your blood pressure within 30 minutes. In someone with sensitive arteries, this sudden rise can strain the heart and even increase the risk of blood clots. According to the Mayo Clinic, caffeine can raise systolic blood pressure by 5 to 15 mmHg in sensitive individuals. For seniors with hypertension, that's a serious concern. So should you give up coffee? Not at all. Just change the order. Drink a full glass of water first, then NAS. Within 10 minutes of waking up, add a pinch of salt or lemon if you like. Then wait 15 to 20 minutes before having your morning coffee or tea. It's a small shift, but it gives your heart a chance to prepare and your brain a chance to hydrate. Don't start your day with pressure. Start with protection. Habit number 2. Holding your urine after waking up. It happens to almost everyone. You wake up, you feel the urge to go, but you stay in bed a little longer. Maybe you check your phone, wait for the house to warm up, or just don't feel like moving yet. But here's the truth. Holding your urine first thing in the morning might be doing more harm than you think, especially if you're over 60. Overnight, your bladder fills and stretches. When you hold it in, your body feels stress. Blood pressure rises. Your heart works harder to maintain balance. And for older adults, many of whom already live with hypertension or weakened heart muscles, this pressure can quietly trigger serious consequences. Studies show that sudden spikes in blood pressure upon waking, especially combined with bladder stress, can lead to heart rhythm changes and even increase the risk of stroke. Plus, holding urine repeatedly can weaken bladder muscles and raise your risk of urinary tract infections. The fix is simple, but powerful. When you wake up, go to the bathroom immediately. Don't wait. Don't delay. Make it the first thing you do. Before you hydrate, before you stretch, before you do anything else. You're not just relieving your bladder. You're relieving your heart. You're protecting your brain. Start your day by letting go. Literally. Your body will thank you. Habit number 1. Getting out of bed too fast. This might be the most common and the most dangerous morning mistake of all. You wake up, you sit up quickly. Maybe you swing your legs over the side and stand up fast, ready to start the day. But in that moment, your body is still catching up. Your heart is still adjusting. And your brain, it might not be getting enough oxygen yet. For people over 60, getting out of bed too fast can lead to a sharp drop in blood pressure, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension. It causes sudden dizziness, lightheadedness, or even fainting. And that's not just inconvenient. For someone with heart disease, high blood pressure, or stiff arteries, it could trigger a stroke or a heart attack. According to the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, seniors who rise too quickly are significantly more likely to experience dangerous falls or cardiovascular events, often within minutes of waking. But the good news is, this one's easy to fix. When you wake up, take a moment. Breathe deeply. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Sit up slowly. Let your feet dangle for 30 seconds. Stand up gently. This gives your blood time to move your heart, time to stabilize, and your brain time to adjust. In just 1 minute, you can prevent a lifetime of damage. Don't rush out of sleep and into danger. Rise with care. Rise with intention. You've just learned 10 morning habits. 10 simple things that almost everyone does without a second thought. And yet every one of them has the power to change the course of your day or your life. That's what makes stroke and heart disease so dangerous. They don't always come with a warning. They don't always wait for the right time. Sometimes they show up in the silence of routine, in the stretch that was too fast, the coffee that came too early, the moment you ignored that little dizziness and kept going. But here's the good news. You're not powerless. In fact, you have more control than you think. Every single morning, your body gives you another chance. A chance to move slowly. A chance to breathe deeply. A chance to fuel your heart and protect your brain. A chance to do better. These aren't big dramatic changes. They're gentle choices, small moments, a glass of water, a slower rise, a softer shower, a thoughtful breakfast. But over time, those choices add up. They build resilience. They protect independence. They extend life, not just in years, but in quality. You don't need to live in fear. You just need to live with intention. So the next time your alarm goes off, remember this. Your heart is waking up too. Treat it kindly. Give it time. Because how you start your morning may decide how long and how well you live. You've made it to the end. And now, just as promised, here's the simple 3-step routine designed to help your heart, your brain, and your entire body ease into the day. This is the exact morning method many doctors quietly recommend to patients over 60. And now, it's yours. Step 1. Reconnect with your body before you move. The moment you wake up, don't jump. Stay still for 30 seconds. Breathe deeply. Wiggle your fingers, rotate your ankles, let your nervous system wake up gently. Then sit up slowly. Let your feet dangle. Give your blood pressure time to stabilize before you stand. Step 2. Hydrate before anything else. Before your pills, before your coffee, before breakfast. Drink a full glass of room temperature water. This thins your blood, jumpstarts circulation, and hydrates your brain. Bonus, add a small pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon for faster absorption. Step 3. Eat within 1 hour. Don't wait too long. Your body's been fasting all night. Even a small meal, a banana, a handful of nuts, or toast with nut butter, can stabilize blood sugar, calm stress hormones, and give your brain the fuel it needs to function clearly. That's it. 3 small actions, 5 minutes. But the impact lifelong. Because every gentle choice you make in the morning is a message to your body that you're choosing life. Healthier, longer, steadier life. If this video spoke to you, even just one part of it, then take a moment now to do something simple but powerful. Share it. Not just because it helps us, but because it might help someone you love. A parent, a partner, a neighbor. Someone who gets up every morning not knowing that one small habit could be putting their life at risk. You now have the knowledge. That means you have the power. And if you found this video valuable, please tap the like button. It tells YouTube this message matters, and it helps more people, especially seniors, discover life-saving information just like this. Also, don't forget to subscribe. We release new videos every week that are made for people just like you. Americans over 60 who want to live longer, stronger, and with more control over their health. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to change everything overnight. But you can take one step, one morning at a time, one habit at a time. And if today is the day you start, we're proud of you. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, be well, be wise, and take care of that heart of yours. Because it's been taking care of you all along.